Their streets became empty. The sounds were so loud, the sirens wailed through the night. Their hearts became heavy. Their blood became like sludge in their veins. There was no light in their eyes. Sometimes they forgot to hear the music right beside them. They could not hear us breathing. In, out, in, out. They couldn't find the comfort in that. They chose to be afraid. They walled up their homes, they closed their hearts. Even as they covered their faces, they refused to look others in the eye. They were suspicious of their own shadows on the other side of the aisle behind their foggy glasses, and their masks pulled up high. They didn't know we were smiling, even behind our own, that we'd seen another person, another human whole. They chose to be afraid. They watched the skies with dread. They whispered in their own homes. They didn't turn on the lights. They jumped when their phones rang. They didn't dare to laugh, to dance, to live. They were afraid to close their eyes, afraid to steady their hearts. They let the grip of fear choke them faster than any virus. They chose to be afraid. We couldn't shake hands, so we washed them instead. And we each used our arms to hold ourselves together. We chose to care. We refused to be poisoned into killing what made us, well, us. To ignore the orphans, travelers needing directions. We refused to become murderers, robbers, and petty thieves, to turn our fear into violence. We refused to let the pandemic take our humanity from us. So with shaky hands, we drew wonky smiles on our masks. We wore the sheerest yellow. We donned the sweetest perfumes. We called each other on the telephones. We laughed at jokes. When we walked in the street, even when we stood at a distance, we remembered to pause, waving our arms. We stood together, even when we stood apart. We opened our largest windows. We let the July breeze rush in to turn on our happy songs. We danced harder than before. We counted every blessing. We savored every moment. We celebrated every breath. We refused to be trapped behind the bars of despair. We would still be here long after the virus was over, and we would not be hollow. No. We would hold our heads high, for we chose to stay unchanged. Even when we stayed away, we chose to hope. We chose to hope, and we chose to not be afraid.